711 AD. The Moors invaded Spain under General Tariq. The Rock of Gibraltar stands as an altar to this glorious day, when the Spanish population learned the ancient Moorish ways. Hebrews and Muslims living under nature's law. I self-law and master the order of Islam.
Many people believe that Moor also means Muslim, but the truth is there were many different types of Moors. There were Muslim Moors, there were Jewish Moors, Christian Moors, and some that practiced a Kemetic African faith.
Moor does not mean Muslim. My study of Moor tells me that there were Moors who were Christians. There were Moors who were Kemites or followed the Kemetic legacy. It is important that, yes, a very important facet of the Moors that went into Europe post 710 AD happened to practice the Islamic faith. But not all Moors are Muslims. You could be a Moor and not have any faith system that you followed particularly at all. The word Moor is a medieval term that became Negro after the enslavement of the Moors.
So it definitely was an ancient Hebrew connection, and when you deal with the empire, the Moorish Empire extended from North Africa all the way across the Atlantic to the Americas, and within that empire in Africa, you had a group of Moors, a group of Israelites or Jews known as the Bafour, who was absorbed into the Moorish Empire and was recognized as Moors politically, because the term Moor is dealing with a political jurisdiction. So there were Hebrews who were part of that Moorish Empire. So it's very important to show the Hebrew connection. So, you know, that's what we definitely here to do.
About people that are being misinformed about the connection between the Moors and ancient Hebrews. Some of the Moors that even went into Spain were actually Hebrew. They weren't what you would consider to be Orthodox Islam. And whether you believe in the Prophet Muhammad or not, Prophet Muhammad was influenced by a particular group of Hebrews called the Essene, or, you know, sometimes they call the Al-Nasara or the Ansars. And, you know, they wore all white. They also had, it was part of their culture to have facial hair. They also, another part of Islamic culture, what you call wudu, which is the cleansing with water. That's something that the Essene people also did as well. The Ansars also did that. You can see that in a lot of Islamic culture. So Islamic culture was definitely influenced by a lot of the Hebrew culture, going back to the Essene people and the Ansars that dwelled along the Dead Sea. This is where you get a lot of information regarding the Dead Sea Scrolls and the priesthood of Melchizedek.
You know what I'm saying? So, of course, they want you to only embrace one culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and it's not even a culture, it's not really an identity, because it always equates to chains and bondage and all that, when Columbus himself was surrounded by Morenos. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
You look to his right, he had Pedro Alonso Nino, who was actually navigating the boat. You look to his left, you had Juan Prieto.
Mm-hmm.
You look to his Diego, his assistant. You know what I'm saying? So it would have been like him, like it would have been like Eminem, like the only white dude in the crowd, like, you know what I'm saying? So
some people say he was mulatto himself.
So at what point are we gonna go from that to now everybody dark skin was in chains?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
A group of Europeans decided to do an alternative thing based on religion and all of that, was inducted into Judaism. And that becomes the origin of your white Jews who have nothing to do with the original Hebrews whatsoever. And they was conducted into a secret society of Kabbalah, which is the same stuff that your Lubavitcher Jews or your Hasidic Jews practice today.
Now, in pointing that out, let me also clarify something. When we talk about Jews today in 1997, we're talking about people usually who are Ashkenazi. We're talking about people who are descendants of Poles, Germans, Russians, Englishmen, who are essentially converts to Judaism. When we're talking about Jews at this time, we're talking about Sephardim, we're talking about Beta Israel, also known as quote-unquote Falashim or Falasha, who are clearly African and Asiatic.